And all right, everyone, I hope you are having a good day. And it is sunny outside, reporting from Toronto. Well, kind of. So today's request was inner thighs,
I'm sorry.
adductors, and for today's class, we are going to need either your squishy ball is optional. You don't have to have it. And I do recommend like a little glider if you have a glider, or a tea towel or something just to help you slide on the ground, because yes, bare skin is rough. So go ahead and get your toys. We're only going to use the squishy ball for the one exercise, and so that's why I'm like, it is optional, you don't need it. And like I said, I put a playlist on the chat if you want to listen to some very like, the playlist is called Aging Hipster Workout. So I am not sure if you like that music. But yes.
What's it called? Aging hipster?
Aging Hipster Workout.
Oh, I thought you said achy. Achy hipster.
It's the same. Kind of the same thing. And all right, my ladies, when you are ready, let's just start standing up just for the one little warm up that I like to do with the hips. I'm just going to put this one in here. What are we doing today? Is it more similar to Pilates or flexibility? Flexibility. And I promise, Christine, today I actually have some stretching on the class. Okay, so let's start standing up, everyone. And give me 1 second. Yes. Sorry. He just woke up. Okay, so let's stay on a parallel position. Try to do as much as a parallel as you can, but if your bone structure wants a little bit more open toes, that is okay also. And just we're going to rock on your insteps and your outer steps, just to start creating some heat on your hips. And go very little, remembering that this kind of movement, it's not that you're moving your knees, but your instep rocking motion is rippling all the way through up to your hips. If you want a little bit more like feeling, you can bring your legs a little bit farther apart, and you will start to feel that inner thigh. There are a few, like, if I'm not mistaken, 5 or 6 muscles that are the ones that make up the inner thigh. But the one that always gives us so much pain in the leg, it's the groin, right? Like right around the groin. It's a very tender spot, and it can help us so much for later on for ballet if it's strong, right? You can bend your knees a little bit more if you also need to perhaps get a little bit bigger range of motion. And if you've separated your legs, when you are ready, bring them back to hip width distance, reach arms up to the ceiling, and just roll down onto the floor. Get into your tabletop position just for a little bit of a cats and cows to keep on warming up that spine, because it is always needed. Add your own timing. Inhaling and exhaling. And when you're ready, walk your hands just slightly farther forward and do what I like to call the extended cat cows, more like into a modified up dog kind of thing, and into a child's pose. Like hinging at your hips, just to give a little bit of mobility to those hips. Today, I've separated the class into your warm-up, a little bit of mobility, strength, a mobility test, which is going to be fun, and then you stretch. So hopefully we can get through the whole thing. And it's also a brand new class. And when you are ready, just sit onto your hips and roll onto your back. You can scooch to the middle of your mat. Bring your knees to your chest and just give them a nice little squeeze. Take an inhale and let them go a little bit. And on your exhale, bring them closer to your chest. Inhale to let them go. Exhale a little bit closer. Reach your left leg long on the ground and keep your right knee onto your hand. Take a nice inhale in here. And on your exhale, bring it directly closer to your chest. Inhale, let it go a little bit. And on your exhale, a little bit towards your armpits. Inhale, let it go a little bit. And exhale a little bit farther out, more like towards your elbow. And then return to the center. One more time. Inhale and center. Exhale to your chest. Inhale and center. Exhale towards your armpit. Inhale to center. Exhale towards your elbow. And this time just find a little bit of a half a happy baby. Bring your elbow on the inside of your knee and your hand on the outside of your foot. Press on the top of your foot, on the sole of your foot, so that your knee is hopefully drawing towards the floor. You'll feel a little bit of that stretch on the inner thigh. We'll do a lot of this. When you're ready, let that leg go and bring up your left knee towards your chest. Inhale and center. And exhale directly towards your chest. Inhale and center, let it go every time. And exhale towards your armpit. Inhale and center. And exhale towards your elbow. Bring it back towards the center. Once again, pull inhale and your exhale. You can keep your other hand on your hip bone, kind of to like making sure that it's not moving. Go ahead all the way to your elbow and eventually make it to a half a happy baby. Trying to keep both of your sitting bones on the ground, pressing against the ground. When you're ready, let go of that leg. And you can either keep your legs extended or bring your feet on the ground and reach your right heel up towards the ceiling. You're going to inhale to cross your leg a little bit farther from center and exhale to make a big circle down and around. Inhale to cross your leg. Exhale for your circle. Inhale to cross. Exhale and circle. Keep on going. Let your thigh bone just rotate inside of its socket every time. In my case, every time I go to the side, closer to my shoulder, my leg likes to externally rotate. When you're ready, reverse that circle. Opening to the side, and on your way back, do the over cross once again, and then to center. Open it to the side. You probably start feeling already a little bit of that inner thigh. And when you are ready, Come back to the floor and switch your legs. Inhale to overcross and exhale to circle down and around. Do try to keep your hip bones very nice and steady. I like to keep my hands on my hip bones so that I can notice if they are moving. And if you have your foot on the ground on the other leg, is that me? No. Sorry. Sorry. I was like, wait, is that my phone? Yes, do try to keep that bent knee pointing towards the ceiling. Don't let it move. And when you are ready, reverse your circles. Perfect. All right. Once you are done with this, come back to the floor. If you're not already there, bend at your knees, bring your feet onto the ground, and walk your heels slightly closer to your bum. If you have a ball, a squishy ball, place it in between your knees, and just adjust your feet accordingly. We're going to take an inhale in here, and on your exhale, peel your tailbone off the ground until you come up in a bridge. Inhale to lower, and exhale to bring it up. Inhale to lower, exhale to bring it up. Remembering that you want to keep this bridge very articulate. You want to peel your tailbone off on the way up, and then every vertebrae after that. And on your way down, you start on your top, on your upper back, melting your vertebrae into the ground. And at the same time, if you do happen to have a ball in between your knees, you want to keep that pressure against the ball. Next time you are on the top of your bridge, stay there. If you don't have a ball, just make sure that you don't open your knees too far apart. If you do have a ball, try to open your knees outwards. Just don't let go of the ball, just a little bit so that you don't let go of the ball, and then squeeze the ball. And open and squeeze, and open and squeeze, and open and squeeze, and open and squeeze. Keep going a few times. I'm pretty sure you're feeling those inner thighs a little bit. Because when we're working about like in all the muscles, there's always the opposite muscles that need to have some love too. We're going to just do one little bit of hamstring. Whenever you're ready, float your right leg off to the ceiling and just lower and push and lower and push and lower and push and lower and push. Switch your legs just a little bit. We don't need to do too much today because you know I can get carried away with the hamstring. Lower and push, lower and push, lower and push, lower and push. Great. Bring your leg down, come down off your bridge, put your ball to the side, and just let the soles of your feet touch and open your knees wide to the side into a little butterfly, recline butterfly pose. Do any movements that you need. You can like swing your knees a little bit. You can bring your hips up and down, like one hip up and one hip down. Anything that you need. And when you're ready, just roll on to the side. All right, let us get into a little mobility. So let's come to the side and prop your head with your bottom arm, or you can just relax your head onto your arm. You don't have to be propped up. Do make sure that you can see your toes a little bit so your legs are not directly on one single line, they're slightly to the front. And when you're ready, rotate your top leg. Do make sure that you're not collapsing backwards. I like to do this, if it's available to you, I like to do this against the wall so that I can really check on my placement, but it's optional. Okay, we'll know this. Bring your knee up to your retiré. Go a little bit higher. Extend your leg and flex your foot to bring your leg down in the front. That's it. Come all the way up to your knee, go a little bit higher, extend your leg, and this time lower it all in the back of your supporting leg. Inhale up to your knee. Do make sure that you're sliding that thigh bone inside the socket and you're lengthening the back of your leg at all times. As you know, if you wanted to add some resistance to this, you can always do it with a little bit of a loop band or TheraBand. I just thought that maybe not today, that I was going to be nice today. Keep on going. Add rockers. What the hell? Adductor rockers. I'm like, I just finished creating this class and then I'm looking at my notes and I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Can you imagine? And when you're ready, the next time that you are down, just press against the floor and come up to one knee and one leg extended. You're going to place your hands on the ground and basically we're just going to rock back and forth, making sure that your back is very nice and flat and your back toes can be tucked or extended. It's all good. And just go, keep on going, rocking yourself back and then forward. Rocking yourselves back and then forward multiple times. This gets a full stretch of your growing muscles. There's this one long muscle. That's literally your inner thigh, like the more exposed one. And this is the one that we're stretching or mobilizing rather right now. Once you are done with that, come up into your knee and just bend that leg onto the side. Remembering that it doesn't have to be super flat on the side. It can be a little bit farther forward from you, making sure that we are not spiking at our hips. You want to have your tailbone relaxed under and just lean towards that front leg or side leg, I guess, and come back. A little kneeling side lunges, keeping your whole back straight and coming back. And keep on going. Yeah, exactly. You can bring your hands onto your head. You can like even lean towards that front leg if you want a little bit more weight on that inner thigh. Just getting a little bit of mobility. Once again, making sure that that thigh bone slides inside the socket and then you can hinge a little bit farther. Yeah. If you do decide to bend over, make sure it's not just your elbow going down. You want to lengthen the opposite side and then go down. Once you've had enough, come back, come onto your knees and onto your hands And just give me a few circles of the hip. Do flex that foot. Oh, you know what's fun? If you do have a ball, you can always bring your ball on to the in between the knee and the hamstring, the back of the knee and the hamstring for this. They call this hip cars circles kind of thing. So flex your foot a lot and just bring your heel towards the ceiling as much as you can. Open your knee to the side towards your shoulder, then down to your elbow, cross it over and center. So it's like a big circle, and we are doing the whole crossing over plus farther than center to target those inner thighs. Look at us. We're doing hamstring curls and inner thighs at the same time. When you're ready, reverse your circle. Try not to arch your back. And once you had enough, put aside your ball and lay onto your second side for your développés on the other leg. All right. Again, remember that you want to be able to see your toes, and rotate your top leg before you come all the way up to your knee. Use that inner thigh to bring your knee higher. Extend your leg and flex on your way down. Making sure you're stacking your hips together, one on top of another, all throughout this. If you want to add a little bit of sense of instability, I don't know if that's a word in English, you can always have that ball pressing down instead of the ground. Helps a little bit for core too. Focus on that inner thigh really lengthening on the way down. As you flex the foot, that inner thigh elongates as much as it can, and keep on feeling as if someone was pulling your leg out. As I always like to point out, now you have no excuse for having beautiful développés to the side during ballet class, because I can see you can do it. I can see you have the mobility to it. So joke's on you, girlfriends. And once you are done with this, next time you're on down, just come up into bending one knee and just one leg to the side. I'm just going to scooch over a little bit for your little hip hinges. You put your hands on the ground and just hinging at your hip and sliding forward. Placing your, if possible, if this is available to you, placing your whole foot on the ground, the one on the side. And once again, your back toes can be pointed or tapped. Notice if this side comes easier to you, if it's more mobile, or maybe not. Just remembering that all of that is very normal. Trying to keep your back very lengthened, everyone. Yeah. Once you had enough, come back up and bend that knee to the side, toward where it's comfortable to you to the side, and start leaning towards. You do want to use a little bit of your glute that engages, so you protect that inner thigh that is stretching, right? Exactly. You can always place one hand in front of your belly and one on your sacrum, on your back, to make sure that they're not tilting anywhere. And if you want to add a little bit more of a weight onto that front thigh, do lean into it. Try not to use too much momentum, at least not now. So like from down there, try not to use wee. Go as slow as you can. I know the mobility exercises, it's often better when you do them very slow so that you can kind of visualize and see what's happening inside your body, whether you want to think muscles or bones. It's a little easier when you're going slow. When you are ready, come onto your hands and knees and start your circles. Optional, the bowl for a little hamstring curl. Ready? Go for it. When you're ready. Huh, interesting. This side is easier. This side feels more free. Your toes on the back, not the ones on the ground, but the ones with the ball, they're either very flexed, your foot is very flexed, or very pointed too. The point is that they are engaged. Reverse your circles when you've done enough. Once you are done, bring the ball to the side. Open your both knees to mat width distance. And it is up to you and how you feel on your hips. Your toes can be together or they can be apart, and start to come down into your little froggy pose. You don't have to go all the way to the ground because we're still rocking up, forward and back. And your knees can be even like closer together if that is better for you, or farther apart. Yeah, you can. I was gonna do the same. You can go to the side of your mat. if the front of your mat is too thin or too narrow, you can always go to the side of your mat. Think of your sitting bones separating and coming together. And when you've had enough, just roll into your belly and come back onto your side. Great. Awesome. Perfect. Onto the strength. You thought that was the fun part? No. All right. Let's come onto the side and bring your knees on a 90-degree angle and your feet more like bring your heels on in line with your bum, and bring one hand onto your hip. We're just going to do very, very chill side plank. Open your clam, close your clam, and coming down. Just that. Doop, 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 doop. Go ahead. Sometimes I will tell you when to stop. I wanted to do a little bit of like a HIIT class where we were like, we'll go intense for like 45 seconds and then rest 15. But I was like, no, I don't think I can. I don't think I can handle that. I know you guys can. Let's do a couple more, a few more. Mm-hmm. And once you had enough, stretch both legs and bring one leg up off the ground. And we're going to do a variation of what we did like a week ago or maybe 2 weeks ago. From here, you're going to bring your leg together into a little teaser-ish and then rock back to the side. And climb and tease and come back down. And climb and tease and come back down. See, you cannot do, because everything is linked, you cannot do like inner thighs by itself without doing a little bit of core. You cannot do inner thighs by itself without doing a little bit of hamstrings, at least. Now, here comes the fun part. Come onto your teaser. Come onto a full teaser and then roll onto that side. If you roll away from your mat, just come back in for the other side. Into your little bent knee, heels in line with your bum. We're going to go up onto your side plank and then into your plank. Using, I like these exercises. I often like exercises that work something without it being too obvious, like too on your face. Because in this side plank, you're definitely using that inner thigh to come off the ground, but you're feeling so many other things. Keep on going. Keep on going. Yes, try to keep your placement and your core strong so that your back is not curving too much. Think about it like a lot on your lower limbs and those lower abs. Lower abs are like the key, the holder of everything. And once you've had enough, come back down, stretch your legs and float the top leg. Come onto your plank, yes, and teaser and come down. Oh, I was so happy. I thought my English had come back. Clamp, teaser, and come back down. And you know, what do you know? At the same time, you're giving like a little massage to your bum. Once you're ready, go on to your full teaser, bend your knees, and just find a kneeling position. Okay. For the next one, roll your mat just for a full extra cushiony and bring your tea towel. This is a fun one. You're going to bring your knee on top of the tea towel. You're rolling, your mat is rolled and onto your other knee. Same thing with this. I'm just going to go sideways a little bit. Because we're going to open and close one knee, you want to make sure that you are as, I don't want to say tucked under on your pubic bone, but relaxing your tailbone down to the ground so that your lower abs can zip up and you can just slide and come back and slide and come back and take it away whenever you are ready. Now watch out for the, don't go as far out that you cannot bring it back in without using anything else. You can go little by little, open it more as you can control it. But yes, perfect. Because we don't want to go like out with that other hip in order to bring it back in, right? The other hip is really not doing anything. It's full on inner thigh. I don't know about you, everyone, but I'm shaking on my way up. The way out is nice and easy. The way up is what's a little bit funky. Keep on zipping up those lower abs. Do make sure you are breathing. Inhale to go out. Exhale to go in. It will help you zip up those lower abs. Because remember, on the inhale, we expand. And on the exhale, we compact. Ooh. Do a few more, a couple more. And then we'll switch sides. Go for it. Switch your sides. If you wanna just like turn around on your mat, or if you wanna roll the other side, whichever you prefer doing. If we were on a studio, I will just ask you to turn around and I can walk around the studio, but alas, that is not the reality right now. Go ahead, set up. Try not to have any pike on your hips, May. Give me more flat hips on the front. Yeah. Like, I love how you don't need any fancy gym equipment to do like harsh stuff, because this is pretty harsh. I wish we had a reformer. I love doing this in the reformer. It's so much fun. And like I said, we cannot do inner thighs without doing outer bum or glute med. If you bring your hands on the outside of your glutes, on the sides of your glutes, you'll feel that glute med kicking in on your way in. Next time you're in, just come back out of your mat. You have both sides of your mat roll, just kick them out. Come into your wide-legged yogi squat and just hang out in there for a bit. Take your time. Remembering that this yogi squat can look very different. Do try, whatever your bone composition is, do try to make it so that your heels are on the ground for right now, wherever it is. If you need to like open them farther apart or closer in together and your bum is a little bit farther down, whatever it is, just so that you can hang in there with your heels on the ground. Yeah. And just stretch one hand up towards the ceiling, and with the other hand you're leveraging on the inside of your leg to open a little bit of that hip and twist a little bit and close it back into your center. And the other side, stretch your left hand towards the ceiling, come back to center. And here comes the fun part. If you need to bring your feet a little bit wider apart, bring your hands onto your chest and try not to lean forward as much as you can, and just zip it up, up. If you need to adjust your feet, go for it, because we're going all the way down, sister. All the way down. Beautiful. Try to keep your heels on the ground all the time. We're going up, we're going down at your own timing. Notice, if you can, close your eyes and notice what your hip bones, femur bones, thigh bones are doing inside the socket. For me, one of them is like a little bit hesitant of going in, and it takes it a little bit of time. Oh, you're going to want to kill me after this. Okay. Whenever we're ready. Okay, I lied. Now come back up, everyone. And now let's start double pulses down. We go pulse, pulse, zip your right leg to the center. Again, pulse, pulse, zip your right leg to the center. Keep on going. And here, zipping your right leg, very controlled. Great, everyone. A couple more, and then we'll switch sides. Do make sure when you are on two legs that you're distributing your weight right in the center so there's not too much wear and tear on that one hip. And switch your legs. And down, down and zip. And down, down and zip. Down, down and zip. What am I missing? Oh, oh, you're going to kill me after this. Couple more times. Exactly, keeping your upper body on a straight line. I feel like we need one more. The last one. Come back to your center, just shake your legs for a second. If you need the wall for the next one, go ahead. I don't think you need the wall because you're all super pros at this. We're going to bring your retire and then up and down. That's it. Retire. For that mobility off the top of your hip. And we need that inner thigh to bring your leg up and down. Making sure, whew, I'm so out of breath, everyone, and I haven't done like the whole thing with you. Making sure that you're not piking at your hip. Your front of your supporting hip is nice and long, and you're just like lifting and lowering your knee. Yes, keep your hip bones steady as they go and explore if your knee can open a little bit farther sideways, if you want it to be a little farther in. Let me go see for a second what's happening. Continue. Yeah. Bring that knee. Oh, Christine, you're missing one part. You go up and then you go as high as you can and then come back down. And we can either stay on the retire, just going up and down, or you can go all the way down to the ground if that is more available to you. If everyone else feel like it's done on this side, just switch your sides when you are ready. You can always grab the wall if necessary. Relaxing that tailbone down so that your thigh bone can slide inside the socket and your knee go higher up. Try not to crunch your toes. If you choose to point your toes, do them long as opposed to super crunch. Yeah. Beautiful, everyone. Great. We're almost there. And I'm almost staying on time. I'm so proud of myself. It's not a crazy long class. And once you had enough, come back down, swing your legs. The last one that we're going to do is you're going to bring your knee up, down, and cross it in. Just basically a little swing. And feel free to have your arms out and about to kind of like help your body balance. Just open it, external rotation on the way out on the side, and a little bit of internal rotation when you cross over. Try not to sit on your lower back. Keep your lower back nice and lengthened. And once you're done with that, switch your legs. I'm like not going to be able to move tomorrow. I can assure you that. Because I'm also teaching the yoga class after this. Come to the yoga class, everyone. See what is happening. Make sure you're still breathing. And once we are done, come back to your center. Now for our mobility test. I think we'll need to fold our mat ish, I think. Yes. If you need to, step on your slider. Bring a little bit of an outer rotation on your hip. And what's going to happen if for this one, we need to pike at our hips for like a side lunge, totally okay. If you can do it without piking, also okay. So this is what's going to happen. You're going to bend that supporting knee all the way until you reach the floor. Sit on your bum, bend that knee forward and bow to your front leg. That is the fun, the easy part, because guess what? We're also coming back up. Ugh. So go for it. Try sliding on your right side first. Go for it. Go very slow and do make sure, if anything, try for your leg not to slide backwards. You want it either to be sideways or slightly forward. Yeah, because then the sitting part is going to be a little bit hard if your leg is too far back. Yes, once you're sitting on your bum, fold that knee inwards, bow to your front leg, come back up, and God bless you. May Thor be with you for your way up. I do recommend trying to bring your heel to the floor on your way up, and just try a couple of times. Yeah. Great. You can do it, Sue. You can do it. Transfer your whole way forward. Yeah. There we go. Awesome, everyone. If you've done it at least twice, try it one more time and see if it can be smoother. Pike at your hips or hinge at your hips as much as you need to. Keeping a little bit of track on your knee, meaning that when you are sliding, this knee is not going forward past your toes for now. It's more that your bum is going down, right? Like a little squat. If possible, once you're on your way down, I recommend keeping your arms in front because that's going to help you with your weight management. Yes. And when you're ready, switch your legs. Try to do the same amount of number of times. Wow, I said a lot of things. Same amount of number of times on the other side. We'll see if I can make this. I'd lie because this is not the end of class. I'm not managing my time well again because we still need to do the stretch. Because I promised Christine there will be a stretch this time. Keep your weight on that supporting leg and then sit on your bum. Fold that top knee and bow forward. For the way up, do make sure that you transfer your weight all the way to your toes. And then if needed, pike your hips up first and then come back up. Ideally without hands, but you know, you can always have your hands on the floor if needed. Great, everyone. One more time. Make sure that your leg is not behind you, either flat or a little bit farther forward. And once you're done, don't even bother coming back up. Just sit on your bum. If you need to unfold your mat, sit on your bum, stretch two legs wide on the mat, however wide, it's your choice. When you're ready, inhale forward up to the ceiling and then walk yourself a little bit forward. Go as far down as you want to. And then press against the floor to come back to your seated position and repeat this, my favorite wavy spine things, a few times. You inhale, rock forward. Notice how I am rocking on my hips when I go forward. I do rock my hips a little bit and then come back down. Try that a couple more times. Do flex your feet. And next time you are up, just fold your legs, soles of your feet touching each other. And again, this your diamond shape can be as far out or as close into your bum as you want to. Same thing, hinging forward. You can always leverage with your elbows pressing onto your knees for a little bit more stretch. The more you stick your bum out, the more you feel intensity on your stretch. Just be mindful of what your body is asking for you today. And when you're ready, swing your left leg back and set up for a little bit of a pigeon pose. And just lean forward. You can always be sending a lot more weight to the outer hip, and exactly the intensity. You can always play with the angle of your foot. If your heel is a little bit closer, or if you want your heel more on a 90-degree angle, play around with that and how that feels on your body. You can stay up or you can go all the way down. And when you're ready, come back up, swing your back leg forward and just switch your legs. When you're ready, roll onto the side of your hip until you are on your back and just find yourself and a little bit of a what's it called? Happy baby on the two legs. Another cool thing to do after the class is over, just scooch yourself all the way to the wall and just bring your legs onto the wall for a little bit of a restorative pose like this, but on the wall. It's super nice. Just like this, for example, like this, and just letting your hips rest for a bit. And like you can do this after class if you want to, or if you do have a wall or a couch, Christine, you can always do it on the couch. May, you can do it on the bed, putting your legs on top of the couch or of the bed. And if you're still craving some more like flexibility or working on your thighs, just let your legs open to the side and just let gravity do its thing. And rest on like a side splits kind of thing. Yeah. If you find yourself like holding your breath or something like that, just come back to closing your legs, because we just want to chill right now. And whenever you're ready, if you have your legs open, there are a fun like couple of things that you can do to get out of there. Either slide yourself away from where you are and slowly start closing your legs, or close your legs, bend your knees and just rock onto one side, or just be very mindful. Bottom line is be very mindful after this stretch. And with that, we are done today. How are we feeling?